Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. You are watching Pulse America News and I am Kundi. Before we begin, I want to ask you one thing. What would you do if the enemy launched a missile attack and not a single alarm went off? No siren, no warning, nothing. Just destruction falling from the sky. That is exactly what happened, and tonight we are going to break it all down for you in complete detail. So, here is the situation. Iran had announced that after 4 hours they would deliver a surprise, and that surprise has now become a reality that the entire world is watching with shock and disbelief. The missiles that were fired were not ordinary weapons. These were new, advanced, and highly dangerous missiles that nobody had seen coming in this form. And the timing of this attack was extremely significant because it happened right at the moment when Iran's new supreme leader's son was officially declared Ayatollah. That single moment changed everything. The entire game flipped upside down within hours. Now, let me tell you what made this attack so different from anything we have seen before. The shelters, those protected underground and fortified locations where people would go to stay safe during missile attacks, those shelters were completely destroyed. For the first time in recent memory, missiles did not just land near shelters, they landed directly on them. Those shelters, which people believed were safe, were blown apart completely. And if that was not shocking enough, the missile sirens did not go off. The warning systems that are supposed to give people time to run for cover simply did not work. There was no sound, there was no alert. People had no idea what was coming until it was already there. This is being called the single biggest failure of the defense warning system that we have ever witnessed in this conflict. Now, think about this for a moment. These were new missiles, unusual missiles, missiles that had a very specific and calculated plan behind them, and that plan worked. The American defense systems, which were supposed to intercept and destroy incoming threats, failed completely. Not partially, completely. Iran fired fewer missiles this time compared to the last major strike, but the accuracy of those missiles improved dramatically. Observers and military analysts are now confirming that more than 50% of the American defense systems deployed in the region were rendered completely useless. 50%. That means half of the most advanced military defense technology in the world did not do its job. And that is not a small failure. That is a catastrophic failure. Now, if you could send a verified journalist directly to those military sites where the missiles struck and let them walk through what they saw with their own eyes, Kundi is telling you right now, you would forget everything else. You would forget about Gaza, you would forget about the broader conflict, you would forget every single other story you have been following. The level of destruction at those specific locations is something that no one expected. Not the military planners, not the political leadership, nobody. And then the New York Times broke a report that added another layer to this entire situation. According to that report, senior American officials were completely caught off guard. They were surprised. They had tried to convince political leadership not to move forward with this path. They had issued warnings. Those warnings were not taken seriously. The assumption was that this would play out like a much smaller and more contained situation, like something similar to what happened with Venezuela, a quick show of force, and then things would calm down. But that assumption was wrong, completely and totally wrong. Now, the military officials are openly saying that they are stunned because the situation has changed in a way they did not prepare for. The Gulf country leaders, the powerful Arab states in the region, are no longer standing quietly on the sidelines. Today, the Prime Minister of Qatar, who also serves as the foreign minister, made a statement about Iran. He said that Qatar feels it was deceived. He said that an attack was carried out in a way that was not expected. But even after expressing that anger and that sense of betrayal, he made one thing absolutely clear. Qatar will not participate in this war, no matter what happens, no matter what pressure is applied, no matter what is offered or threatened. Qatar will defend itself if it is attacked, but it will not join any offensive military action against Iran. That statement alone sent shockwaves through Washington. And on top of all of this, the American defense system has now totally collapsed in this theater. The situation that military planners are dealing with right now is unlike anything they planned for. The strategy this time from Iran was simple but devastatingly effective. Use fewer missiles but make every single one count. Improve accuracy, target precisely, and overwhelm the defense systems not with quantity but with quality and technology.
Now let us talk about the human element behind all of this, because this is something that Kundi wants you to understand deeply. The new leader who has stepped into this role has suffered tremendous personal loss. His mother is gone, his wife is gone, his son is gone, his father is gone. Every person closest to him has been taken. Now imagine for a moment that you have lost your mother, your wife, your child, and your father. Would you be in a mood to negotiate? Would you be looking for peace, or would every single day feel like a mission that has not yet been completed? This is the man who is now in charge. He was chosen specifically because of who he is and what he has lost. The people who selected him knew exactly what they were doing. They did not choose someone who would sit at a table and sign agreements. They chose someone whose wounds are fresh, whose anger is real, whose motivation is personal, and whose knowledge of every plan and every strategy is complete because he learned it all directly from his father. And there is something else that makes this even more significant. Attempts were made to eliminate him before he could rise to this position. Those attempts failed. He survived, and his survival is now being described as the biggest surprise of all for the opposing side, because now you have a leader who is alive when the enemy wanted him dead, who has lost everything personal, who knows all the plans, and who has absolutely nothing left to hold him back. That combination is unlike anything the opposing side has ever had to deal with before. Kundi says to you very clearly, whatever small chance there was of some kind of softening or de-escalation, that chance is now gone. Forget about it. It no longer exists. The situation from this point forward is not moving toward calm. It is moving in the opposite direction. Now, let us look at the broader economic picture, because this war is not just being fought with missiles. It is being fought with oil, with money, and with global financial pressure. Senior economists and top-level officials in America are now warning that the economic impact of what is happening is unbearable. Oil prices have gone completely out of control, and when oil prices go out of control, the entire world feels it. Europe is feeling it, the Gulf states are feeling it, Canada is feeling it, and inside America itself, people are feeling it at the gas pump and in the grocery store.
Here is something that is very important to understand about how money works in times of war and instability. When security disappears, capital moves. Billionaires and major investors have one priority above everything else: security. Not profit, not growth, security first. And when security becomes uncertain, they pick up their money and they leave. That is exactly what is happening right now in the Gulf region. International media is reporting that billions of dollars are moving out of the Gulf property market and out of the broader investment ecosystem because the people with the most money do not feel safe leaving it there anymore. On top of that, American artificial intelligence infrastructure and data centers in the Gulf are now facing serious threats. The business hubs that were built over years of investment and development are now under pressure. The smooth and comfortable environment that made those locations attractive for global capital is no longer as smooth as it was. And once that confidence breaks, it is very difficult to rebuild.
France's president reached out directly to Iran's president with one request: stop the attacks on Gulf countries. That call happened because the Gulf countries themselves went to European leaders and asked them to pressure Iran. So now you have a situation where Gulf states, European governments, and international institutions are all trying to find a way to calm things down. But Kundi tells you honestly, when you look at what is actually happening on the ground, calming down is not what this moment looks like. This does not look like something that is slowing down. This looks like something that is just getting started. And then there is Yemen. Yemen made a public announcement today. They said they are ready to deliver their own surprise. Now think about what that means for the Red Sea. American ships, American containers, American naval presence. Yemen has already demonstrated in the past that it has the capability to disrupt shipping in that critical waterway. America's Navy could not stop it before, and the current situation is far more complicated and far more dangerous than it was during that earlier period. If Yemen acts on that announcement, the disruption to global trade could reach a level that makes everything we have discussed today feel like just the beginning. Britain has now decided to officially join this conflict, and when that announcement came, political leadership in America actually reacted by saying that Britain is only joining now because the winning side is clear. Kundi wants you to think about that statement carefully, because what it tells you is that even the people making these decisions know that the narrative of success is not matching the reality on the ground. When a major ally is being mocked by its own partner for joining late, and when that comment is meant to cover up how badly things are going, you know the situation is far worse than what is being admitted publicly. The bottom line of everything we have covered today is this: the conflict has moved to a level that nobody planned for. The defense systems have failed. The economic pressure is real and growing. The new leadership in Iran is motivated by personal loss and has no reason to stop. The Gulf states are refusing to participate in military action. Europe is trying to mediate but has no real leverage, and the entire financial ecosystem in the region is showing signs of serious stress. This is not a small development. This is not a routine escalation. What we are watching right now is a fundamental shift in how this conflict is unfolding. And the most important thing Kundi can tell you is that nobody, not the military planners, not the political leaders, not the economic advisors, nobody has a clear answer for what comes next. Please like this video, share it with everyone you know, and leave your thoughts in the comments section. This is Kundi for Pulse America News. Stay alert, stay informed.